so we do it like we do it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Monday. So I said this, I was just talking to Ashley before we came on here, and we were technically on time today, just to be fair, saying that. But I don't know what the happened. I woke up this morning not feeling entirely amazing, I guess, so to speak. I mean, I don't know. And Jason was like, just take the day off. Just take a day. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. Will I take a day? So here we are. Especially because when you commit to something, you can't overcommit and underdeliver. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this isn't about me. This is about all of the people we're about to probably talk shit about, and I'm so sorry in advance. But before we jump in, welcome. And if you guys are in the live chat, then definitely let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to smash that like button, and let's welcome Ashley. Hello.
Hello, my dearest. How are you today? We're both a little under the weather today, but like Taylor Swift, we're going to make it.
Yeah, honestly, like it's, you know what? The thing is, it's not like this is such a laborious job. You know what I mean? So it's like, I enjoy this, and I would either be, if like I didn't work today and not feeling good, I would either be watching the shows or I'm going to be talking about the shows. So, and sometimes I just got to get it all out. I don't shut the hell up, and that's not good for a marriage. Like my husband will kill me if I don't just get it out here, you know?
My husband has very politely talked to me about my obsession with pop culture in general and like my ability to change any conversation over to Britney Spears. Like it's an art. There are several things that like we've had to draw some boundaries, respect. I understand. So I thank goodness for you all the time. My husband thanks goodness for you too.
Hey, hi, husband. No, it's funny because in the morning, Jason can feel when I'm awake, and it's like he snaps out of like a deep sleep, and I'll sit there, and every morning I turn the brightness down on my phone. I check my phone at like 6 a.m., turn the brightness down, and I turn the sound all the way off in case I open Instagram or something so it doesn't wake him up.
Fair.
And he's like, you're so obsessed with social media. I'm like, no, I just want to know what happened last night when I went to bed because I got to talk about these stories today. He's like, you're not working. You're just obsessed. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Maybe a little both. Maybe a little of both.
Both things can be true. And it's smart. You do what you love. We do what we love. This is great. This is the goal.
Yeah, there we go. Well, speaking of doing what we love, I gotta say, I'm one of those people that it's really hard. Like, I'm super, I guess I have a lot of sympathy for people. But then when I see really dumb shit or hear really dumb shit, then it just irks me and I gotta just call it out. And I used to, when I started the channel, I just wouldn't even talk about certain things because if it was negative and I had like a negative opinion on it, I really kept it to myself because it was during the pandemic and people were really, you know, like heightened on everything because we were stuck in our home. So very highly reactive to everything. And I was like, I just want this to be a place of peace and positivity. But guess what? Pandemic's over. And now I got to just let this bitch out because I got some shit to say, Ashley.
Bitch is back.
Bitch is back.
She's clocked in, bitches.
This. Can we talk about this?
Oh my God. Yes, we can talk about, oh my God. First of all, Leah looks really good in that picture. That's probably the last nice thing I'm going to say, but she looks so effing good, like eating.
She, you know, what's funny is she reminds me of my friend Dana Cathan. Like they look so similar to each other. Dana from Vanderpump Rules. Like
disrespectful queen.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. They remind me of each other, like the way that they look, except I like Dana a lot better because I don't feel like I'm reading this lawsuit, 754 paragraphs of complaints from Leah McSweeney. How the hell? I don't even have, if I told you everything that I know from my life in the last 31 years, you wouldn't get 754 paragraphs. So how the hell do you have 754 paragraphs of complaints? So just for those of you guys who are listening who might not be up to speed on this, I'm going to go through the complaints and I want to hear if Ashley thinks that it's justifiable or not. So complaint number 1, she is saying that when she converted to Judaism, she was going through the conversion, right? And they didn't offer her a proper meal. because there are certain things that she can't have as a new Jewish woman.
Mhm.
Wasn't it pork that she wasn't allowed to have?
I would assume,
Yeah,
but
it was.
maybe not, but, like, that's common practice, I think.
Okay, so this actually, out of all of her complaints, was like the only one where I was kind of like, okay, guys, well, if you know that she's, converting, there's a ton of you guys around. There's producers who are sitting on the iPads. There's also camera people. There's also people who aren't really doing anything. They're just sitting there watching, and they wait outside to set up and then break everything down.
Right.
Send somebody to just go get a meal.
I mean, they're in New York. The best kosher delis in the world are there. I mean, honestly, I throw a rock and find the woman some food.
Yeah.
And as somebody who gets hangry, feed a girl. Like,
Yeah.
feed us.
That's probably the only thing that I could agree with, because then what kind of annoys me is the AA shit. So yes, okay. As somebody, she is, a former alcoholic, and that's a battle, that's a disease. Alcoholism is a disease. And when
Mhm.
you battle with it, like, I have somebody in my family who's in their 80s, 90s now. I actually don't know how old he is, and that makes me sound really shitty, but he's like distant, far removed. Anyways, he's been sober for 40 years. And his
Wow.
wife won't even, like, she's very aware about everything. She won't even buy him Listerine that has alcohol in it. She gets non-alcohol
Wow.
because she doesn't want him to have the taste of it. So it's something that you battle with for the rest of your life. But my thing is like, if you had a different job that wasn't being on the housewife, say you're working at Ruby Tuesdays, Cheesecake
Mhm.
Factory, AT&T, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
you work at a bank. Like,
they're not just letting you like, oh, sorry, Doris, I have to clock out for my 45-minute AA meeting. You're okay. You got this, right, girl? You're good. Just pick up a few of my tables. Like, that's not how life works. You got to plan around your AA
mhm.
meetings. You go to one at night. Maybe you start your day off early in the morning. Maybe you do Zoom AA meetings. I'm not sure. That is not a real complaint.
No, no. Does she ask? This is where I would counter. If I was Andy Cohen's lawyers, I would say, what do you do when you go to friends' houses? Do they remove all the alcohol? When you go out to lunch, you're going to a cafe that serves wine and beer. Do you or do they have to stop using, pouring wine while you're in the restaurant? Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, and that's what I was going to say about the next one. She's also in her complaint saying that they had the women drinking, like there was alcohol available to the women, right? But not everybody's an alcoholic, and some people want to drink, So there was alcohol readily available to the women, and she's saying that Bravo and production put the alcohol there, which makes no sense to me. Put the alcohol there knowing that it could potentially trigger her, and they hoped that it would trigger her illness in order for her to give them a better show. But at the end of the day, like what you're saying, when you go into a restaurant, what do you do? There's alcohol there, like you go meet up with your friends, you go to a friend's house and they have a little bar cart. I don't know. Like, I just went the other day to Jason and I went to this French like cafe kind of thing. It's called like the Owl and the Bear. And you walk in and they're pouring mimosas for people. And we got bagel breakfast sandwiches. Like, would that be triggering for you? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, and I feel for people with alcohol issues. Like, I mean, you can't leave the house. I live in Vegas. You cannot leave the house without having alcohol somewhere or substances. I had my cousin who's 18 come out, and we were out for less than 10 hours. And he goes, you need to ask her. And I go, what's going on? And this guy offered me pasta. I'm like, this poor kid is in Vegas for like 10 minutes and come on, it's everywhere. My point is, it's everywhere, and it's our jobs as adults to say, no, I'm sorry you have an addiction. Like, I understand it's a disease. I respect the fact that it's a daily, minute by minute struggle in your life, but like, the rest of us exist too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then on top of that too, what I don't understand in this complaint, and I have a theory.
Oh, I love a theory.
Yeah, love a good theory. We should just call this Hot Messy Theories instead of topic. But I think that her complaints were not strong enough when she took on like this case and when she went through the Garagos brothers to take on the case, right?
Mhm.
Because I believe that's who her attorney is, Mark Garagos. But it's a
From
pro
the
bono.
Tom and Raquel lawsuits, FYI.
Yeah. Yeah. See? And she has this lawsuit pro bono, meaning, so if you guys are listening and don't know, pro bono just means that they take a bigger chunk of the earnings, the winnings, if they settled the lawsuit, but it's more risk on the attorneys because if they don't win the lawsuit, then they don't make any money. But she doesn't have to pay any money either if they don't win because they were the ones who took the risk. So I'm pretty sure this is a pro bono lawsuit. Now, I don't think it was strong enough with her complaints, so I think that she added in there. And by the way, Andy Cohen does pasta. And it was like, wait, what? What the hell does that have to do? If in fact that is true, which I'm not saying it is, I'm not. But if that is true, and he has this extracurricular activity that he's partaked in, I guess, before, I don't know. Again, don't know. What the hell does that have to do with you not having a pork option or there being a bottle of wine when you're filming?
Make it make sense. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And then I think I was listening to you on one of your news roundups, and it said that contingency, not pro bono. That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting that they're investigating Andy, and the commentary was like, really, what is there to investigate? And I think the reason they're doing that is so Leah, who's obviously Sue happy, that's how she got her brand in the first place, is from filing a lawsuit and using her winnings to start her business. Like, this is like how she makes her money. Like, that's not me being shady. That's me calling history out. And I think that if they wouldn't investigate Andy thoroughly, that she would sue them for not doing due diligence. And therefore, they're going to investigate Andy and hopefully quiet this woman down. Quiet woman.
Wow. I'm going to start calling her Break Check Leah. Like she like reminds you of like those people who drive down the road, they get in front of you and slam on their brakes. That way you run into the back of them.
Yeah, they like have like a neck brace on for the next like 10 years over it. Yeah, I think she is one of those people. Again, this isn't shade. This is true.
My cousin the other day was headed to Target to go get an eye exam. She was meeting my uncle, and she's 16, 17. Sorry, D, you're in high school. And she had this woman pull right in front of her, and there were 5 of them in the car, and slam on the brakes right in front of her, and they all got out. They all had injuries. There was no marks on the car. She slammed on the brakes too, but barely nudged the car. And then come to find out, they've had, like, I believe 2 other lawsuits already this year. And it's like, okay, so wait a minute. It's a pattern. So I get what you're saying about the Leah. It's a pattern. But now the judge has granted for them to be able to go through his private recordings, and he has to do under oath testimonies.
That was major. Like, they really are investigating him. Like, it could turn into something. I mean, if they're going through all that, but also at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think she really started off with much of a case. So there is the possibility for this is all just being due diligence so they can quiet her down. But as somebody who loves Andy Cohen, not only what he built, I watch What Happens Live. Even if I don't know who the guests are, like, I'm just thoroughly entertained by his show. The writers on that show are just fantastic. I'm a fan. I love Daddy. But yeah, this could be a problem, and he definitely needs to switch his practice up. That's for sure.
Well, and to be fair, I don't know about you. I don't know what kind of conversations you have with your friends, like, or anybody else who's listening to this. Sometimes I can be really just thinking I'm funny and say silly things. And I can be naughty on the phone when I'm talking to my friends or talking to, my family, or even sometimes my mother-in-law or my husband. Like, some of our conversations, it's just like, it's insanity. And I wouldn't want those conversations to be blasted all over, a court case or social media or anything like that. I wouldn't want people those are my private conversations. So for them to be able to go through his private conversations in whatever photos, or if he's, I'm sure, I feel like Andy Cohen probably hooks up with a lot of guys. Like like I've seen him in Vegas. I've seen him with, he's very open about flirting and having sex with people. And like, he talks about this. He's like,
yes.
but also he's single. He could do whatever he wants.
Yeah, get it.
So just go get it, but I just wouldn't want all of that to be in somebody's hand to see. I think that I don't understand the justification behind the judge granting her attorney's permission to go through his secret shit.
If it's not in relation to her, like if it's not text messages and emails and photos sent between Leah and Andy, or maybe other parties within that group, but like, are they looking at like conversations between him and Luann or him and Sonia that have nothing to do with Leah? Like, how much are they searching of him? Like that's where I'm kind of like, my disconnect is.
Yeah. Like, do the conversations, the secret recordings or like text messages or whatever that they can search through, is it only going to be with other housewives or former housewives, because that's who she's claiming that he had favorites and that's who he did things with? Or is it going to be like whatever he's texting with his parents and NBC executives? Do those come out? Like, can they post these things once they find them? Will these be listed in court documents? Is he going to be canceled? Is there going to be things that come out that, like, even let's just say that video with Kate Chastain to Brandy,
Mm-hmm.
He didn't think that was going to be out. Like, it was, he was like, he said
friends.
It was in jest.
Right.
But people will run with it. And actually, a lot of the comments were in his favor about that, but people will run with it. And some people are definitely going to roast him. Like, could this be the end of Andy Cohen? That it makes you think, like, God only knows what's in those text messages.
Ooh, I would love to read him. I love fiction. So, I mean, well, nonfiction, I should say. I think it would be a great read. I've read Andy Cohen's diaries, so I don't know how this would be too different from that.
I mean,
imagine being taken down by Leah McSweeney.
I mean,
that's really tough to swallow. Like, of all housewives, like, at least, like, if it was Bethany, like, I know she's gone to the dark side, Chicken Salad Gate, etc. Chanel, I mean, she's done way too much, but at least she has, like, a really big impact on the housewives universe. This is Leah McSweeney.
This is like getting taken down by Gina Kirschenheiter.
Oh, and I love Gina, but like, no.
Gina's having a great season. So I'm going to leave Gina. I'm just saying that, like, I would have thought the biggest takedown would have come from Nene Leakes. I thought that's who was going to be able to take and I don't want anybody to take Andy Cohen down, because I love the shows. People also, just for the fans and for ratings, people do not like change. That's why when we get new shows on Bravo, it takes like 2, 3, 4 seasons for people to get into them and get invested. Like, people don't like change. So if you take him out, you take Watch What Happens Live off, you start changing up the reunions and like dynamics change, and he doesn't have a say so anymore in like the Housewives world or the Bravo world, things will look probably a little bit different and people might go with him. So I don't want that. This is also a job for us, and it's something that we love to do, and we get to do what we love to do for work. That's amazing. Like, I don't want that to change. So I just really make sure your fucking text messages are clean, sir. That's it.
Please. Like, whatever happened in the past, we have to do better moving forward. Even if they're your friends, they're still people who are subordinates to you, and point blank, period.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. All right. Well, speaking of taking accountability, did you
oh my
listen to this?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, the world got jaxed.
The world got jaxed. I don't know, by the way, guys, I'm just going to play a tiny little clip for you guys really quick. Hold on. This is, if you guys didn't catch my video this morning, this is Jax kind of explaining, now that he got out of rehab, the shit.
Heard already that, back in July, I checked myself into a mental health facility. I was in an inpatient facility for about 30 days. It was a very, very scary step for me. And, but it really, really needed to happen. It's something I've been like holding on to for many, many years. Gosh, this is going to be tough to say. So I was in an inpatient facility for 30 days. And, you know, I'm sure we can all relate, you know, it's all something that we have all gone through. You know, I knew something wasn't right with me, and I was really, really scared to find out really what it was. I've known for years that there's been something wrong, but I just kind of just didn't want to know. And well, during my stay, I kind of found out a lot about myself. You know, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I now have a little.
Okay, we're gonna leave him be. So
I'm
he goes
laughing
on.
at the gif of the kid laughing in the comments. It's so shady.
People. That's a good laugh. I like that laugh.
It's so good. I love
That's
this
a good laugh. Like
nonsense.
not even an annoying laugh. Like I love Sheena, but when Sheena does that, like I'm like,
girl.
Sheena, no, with that laugh, no, ma'am. But also, I have a really fucking annoying laugh, so I can't talk. Jax Taylor. All right. I love how what he's giving me in this moment is Teresa going away to camp. Like when I was in my mental health facility, it's like you were in the rehab, you know,
Right.
but we focus on my mental health. And yeah, normally they do that in rehab. I've never been, but I would imagine they got to figure out why you have addictions and urges to do certain things. So they do mentally evaluate you. Yes. And then try to come up with like an answer. And yep, that's a part of it. So we're just calling it mental health facility, and your cast members are calling it rehab. Obviously it's a rehab because Brittany's best friend is calling it rehab. That's neither here nor there. We're not rehab shaming you.
No, get help. It's all good. Like,
yeah.
dude, more people should.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go get your help. But now Zach Wickham coming out and saying, how do you go to rehab and come out a bigger asshole? I'm like, this whole thing to me screamed publicity stunt. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when everything was going on with Kyle and Mauricio and the divorce or split or whatever, Jax and Brittany called this out and said publicity stunt. When everything was happening with Raquel, he came on and thought he was doing like the Lord's work, and on his podcast dissected why he thinks it's a publicity stunt. Then turns around and does kind of the exact same shit, now knowing what these different publicity stunts have looked like. And I think that his PR, his publicist, whoever, if he's still with Lori or whoever, I think that they were a part of this. And I think that they were like, you know what? This is going to be great. Let's put you in a facility as soon as the show starts filming. Yes, you already signed a contract. You're not episodic. So you're going to make the same money anyways. It's going to make for a great storyline. Let's put you in there, but don't do it before they start film. Like, it just screams that to me.
100, especially after they reserved him the divorce papers with cameras set up. Brittany filed in January. We don't know exactly when the papers were served, but they were reserved to Jax at his bar on camera. They're making a TV show. It's fine.
They're making a TV show.
I get it. Like, I get it. I'm not mad at the fact that they're like doing their jobs per se, but like, Jax is dirty, dude. And it's not just his D that's dirty. Like, his whole entire presence. He's just like, he just seems like a walking STD to me. Like, I wouldn't want to be too close to him. Yeah.
I mean, obviously you already know my feelings on Jax. I'm not a Jax fan, but I am a Brittany fan. I really, really like Brittany.
I'm happy to be excited for Brittany again, because I really enjoyed Brittany at the beginning. And then once she decided she was in it with Jax and she married him, and it was always the same thing. Her apologizing for him being an idiot and being a disgrace, and her apologizing and then doing a little giggle like, oh, and I don't care for it. Like, I did not enjoy that era of Brittany, but now that he is not in the picture anymore, I'm really hoping to, like, I'm on Brittany's side. We saw how he treated her. Like, yeah. I'm team Brittany, and I'm excited to really enjoy her personality again now that she's not living to cover up for her first child, Jax.
I'm actually excited to see her single, because we've never really, like, even when they did the fake scenes with Adam on Vanderpump Rules, like, it wasn't real. You know what I mean? Like, they were still talking. They were still like, this is officially like we put in, you know, a divorce, or we filed the papers. She's going to have low lows where she's going to miss her family and want them together. That's anybody. That's just life, unfortunately. But then she's going to meet some amazing man who's going to treat her like a literal princess. And when she does, you know, like, I honestly hope she doesn't even rush into that. I just want to see single Britney having fun, prioritizing her son, which from what I hear from friends and like acquaintances to her, like mutual friend, she's such a great mom anyways.
Right.
But I'm excited to see this new era of Britney. But
I want her to go around town. I want her to, in the words of Katie Maloney, run a train through his restaurant with her gigantic investments that he paid for. I want everybody in his restaurants to see them out of petty ass spite because I'm that girl. I'm petty. I'm sorry.
You know what's crazy is like, God, the Vanderpump Rules fans, like, it's not that they turned on the guys on the cast, but it's like the guys really are not having a good 2 years, except for James Kennedy. He's doing great, but like
amazing.
The rest of them really just, guys, like, what? This is the era of the women. This is like, women, please stand, all rise.
Yes, exactly who run the world. Who run the world? She said it herself. I felt so bad. We were so offensive to Beyonce the other day, as Lala held off on making her baby name announcement because she didn't want to be disrespectful to Lala. I wore my Beyonce shirt because we cannot be disrespectful to Queen Bee now, can we?
I died when I saw that. Was that on Taste of Reality?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I died because I was like, you shady thing, because we just talked about it. And you're like, honestly, I don't give a shit what the kid's name is. Just say it. It doesn't need a moment. It's like, it doesn't matter. And I was like, when you just like came out and said that, you had my full attention, because I was like, wow, you're really right. Like, we're gonna fight. It was like when Kim was trying to make, you know, like this big deal out of Northwest, which really is a badass name, but it was like, you know, guys, like, it's finally here, and I present to you Northwest. But then, like, when you look around and like do people, oh my God, like, what are you looking for in this moment? You know?
But that's the thing. Like, what do you want from us? You had a baby. The baby is happy and healthy. You're happy and healthy. That's what we care about.
Yeah.
Your baby's name will come. Like, it's fine. It has nothing. The funny thing is that like she had to say something about why she played the game online for clicks, which I get and I respect her hustle. But like, can Beyonce be let out of this conversation? She does not want any part of this conversation.
I'm actually surprised that she didn't get shit for even though she didn't say anything bad about Beyonce. Because, you know, like the Beyonce and the Taylor Swift fans are committed.
I am part of both the Beehive and Swiftie land, so I will co-sign to that.
Like, I just saw where I was going through and it popped up, I guess, like Beyonce didn't get nominated for a CMA after her songs or whatever, like the Texas Hold'em and like Cowboy Carter, and I guess people are like freaking out and they think it was a snub, or I don't know. And I'm like, God, CMAs, like, you just done fucked up. You don't even know, like, this woman's backing is like, they're gonna shut you down. They're literally going to line up outside and push the stadium over where you host the CMAs. So just why? Just give her, if it hit the numbers, but you know that shit's all rigged anyways.
It's true.
It's true. But getting back to it, what are your thoughts about Vanderpump Rules spinoff?
I love it. I feel like we're getting the best of both worlds. We are allegedly getting the original cast back. It'll probably be the last season. We're going to tie things up, hopefully get some spinoffs in the mix. But this new Vanderpump Rules cast, Sir Rules on Instagram, the official Instagram page of Sir, teased maybe 2 months ago the cast, and that is pictured there. And
I guess it's really small.
Yeah, sorry. It's on Instagram. Actually, you know, you can go to Taste of Reality. We just published this not too long ago, so you can see them closer. But I have to say, Imani and I went to Sir last month, just about a month ago today, actually, I think. And we have been following all the people in that picture since that went out, just so we can kind of follow what's going on, whatnot. I saw several of the people from that picture inside of Sir, and I'm a nosy girl. So I asked, like, oh, are you guys filming? What's the situation with cameras? When does filming begin? And while nobody would say anything, because obviously they're not allowed to, like, everybody's face lit up and you could tell they wanted really badly to say something. So I don't know if they're already setting up a spinoff or if they're doing that's what they said, it's a spinoff, but no new characters they said are coming to that show. And I'm good. What do you think about the two-show VPR format?
Well, one thing that I didn't think about, and Jason asked me, I wanted to kind of run past you because it really, like, it stopped me in my tracks. Jason said, is this going to be on Bravo or is it going to be on Hulu? And I was like,
good question. Or Peacock even.
Or Peacock.
It could be an original Peacock series.
And I was like, I actually don't know. And I love the way that Hulu right now is shooting their reality shows. And, like, even when I was on the podcast with Monica, like, she was talking and she's like, I feel like Hulu is like the shittiest, like, streaming service as far as like the way they shoot things. And I'm like, what? I do not agree. I don't agree with that. But
I don't think their documentaries are great, but I think they shoot a lot of very, very high quality, like their like their movies and stuff. They're like short series. They're great.
Yeah, I think Netflix and Hulu both do great jobs. I think Peacock does a great. Honestly, I'm not mad at any of the networks. If I'm mad at anybody, it's like TLC or something like that.
If I'm mad at anybody, it's all the corporate greed that makes us pay for either cable and apps, or you pay for DirecTV and apps, or you're paying for all the apps. And we spend so much effing money. Like, it's so gross. It's so gross.
I know. And people, what's so funny is, like, these streamers, they're like, and surprise, I'm unveiling we're going to call it streaming service Peacock. And they think like people are going to be so excited when really people are like, God damn it, another fucking thing to pay for. Like, people get so mad. Jason goes through our subscriptions and he will I have a problem, you guys. And he's probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but he's also a part of the problem because I go to Starbucks like 3 times a day. And every time I get a coffee, I get him a coffee. Jason brought me my Starbucks bill for the month. And I think I racked it up like $500-$600. Starbucks.
Wow.
Yeah. I got in a lot of trouble for this. But then he was like, we need to be better. We need to do better. So I'm cutting off the streaming services. I'm canceling the subscriptions. I was like, you can take the fucking coffee. You're not cutting off the streaming services. Yeah. Like, cut me off on espresso. That's killing me. My heart's like, brrr. Like, cut that off, not the streaming. What are you, crazy? Priority.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah, that's one thing. No, we don't cut off streaming services. Oh, no. These are my friends. These are my people. Like, this is my existence, my personality. Stop it.
They literally are, like, some of them actually are our friends. Like, no, this is support. No. So regardless, then the next question that Jason asked me about this new cast that's filming is, what's going to be the name? He's like, because if you think about it, like, would they call it Vanderpump Rules again? But I don't think that they would. But then he's like, she puts Vanderpump in front of everything. Vanderpump Villa, Vanderpump Rules, Vanderpump Paris, Vanderpump Vegas, Vanderpump, like, finally we got something without Vanderpump, which was Wolf.
But it's Wolf by Lisa Vanderpump, for the record.
It's what?
The full name of it is Wolf by Lisa Vanderpump. Like, that's the full name.
You're not going to miss.
To your point.
This woman is not, and I love me some Lisa Vanderpump, so I even feel disrespectful being like this woman, but Lisa Vanderpump is not going to miss an opportunity to put Vanderpump. That is the brand. But
she's
like you said,
businesswoman.
Is it going to be called Sir Rules? Is it going to be called Sir?
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be called Pump Rules or VP Rules, because number one, it's a younger cast and the younger generation. Like, they make words smaller, they abbreviate, text, whatever, social media language. Everything is abbreviated and shortened anyway. So my money goes on Pump Rules or VP Rules, or like Vanderpump Still Rules, something to that effect.
I think it's going to be Pump Rules then.
Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Tracy said, serving Vanderpump. I don't think it's going to be that.
Maybe SURVING to get sir in there.
To be serving. Yeah. Yeah.
That might work.
Somebody, I had somebody message me and ask, like, does it irk you that they didn't do a spinoff while you were there? Like, while you lived there, like, would you have wanted to be a part of this? And I look back at it and I truly believe everything happens for a reason. But then also, as much as I love how some of, like my friends who are on Vanderpump Rules are doing, like how well they are and like the notoriety and stuff that comes with it, people really forget that it's at such a cost of like on your mental health and how you're going to be portrayed. It's something that you don't, it's like what they say, like when you put something on the internet, be careful because it lives in the internet for forever, like it's really shit that you can't get back. And, the goal is to create a show. So you have to be like, one of the guys messaged me, I don't know his name and I'm sorry, but he watched one of the show or these shows and he messaged me on Instagram and he said, are you like excited for a bisexual ginger bartender? And I guess he's a bisexual ginger bartender. And I'm like, sure, great. I don't know. Like, but like, it's like even him saying that, and that's the first thing that he said to me, it's going to be a lot of sexual. It's going to be a lot of like, are you cheating on Macy? Listen, it was one time I just kissed her. You fucking bitch. And then Lisa walks in. Hello, darling. What's going on? And Lisa doesn't know any of these people, by the way. I'm telling you already. She does not know any of them. She doesn't talk to them. She doesn't she's so far removed at this point, but she will, if she in fact does film for this show, which I would imagine she would, she'd make cameos. She will go in and pretend like she knows who they are. It took me like 3-4 years to be Adam. I was Austin, Eric's, Alan. I was probably even Sarah at one point. I was everything but Adam, and it wasn't until Jason started working at Pump and helping Lisa out with her Spanx and whatnot and just like doing all of the things. And like, that's when she fell in love with him first. And then I fell in line. She fell in love with him and I fell in line. I should put that on a shirt. That's what happened. Real. And then I was Adam and I was like, she walked in, she's like, oh, hello, Adam. And I was like, I think I was like looking at my phone or taking a table or something. And I was like, oh, hi, Lisa. How are, what did you just call me? Adam. It is Adam, right? I'm like, oh my God.
You got it right.
Yeah. Like last time. Yeah. I mean, when I started here, my nephew wasn't even born. Now he's like 3 years old and you finally got it. Holy shit. Wow.
We love Lisa. We love how disconnected she is from reality, as most of them are. Like, I love her for it. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. Janine, did Jason ever go to Lisa's home? Yeah, Jason had to, Jason would sometimes have to bring like flowers or drop things off. And yeah, Jason was kind of Ken and Lisa's go-to for sure. He did a lot for them. And
God, Villa Rosa, what a goal.
I would beg him when he would go and have to drop things off. I'm like, I'm going with you. He's like, no, you're not. And I'd be like, it's okay. I'm going with you. He's like, you literally like you're a server there. Like you're not going with me. I'm like, don't fucking serve shame me.
No.
But it
I deserve to meet Hanky and Panky too.
I just want to see the moat and the things, and that's okay.
Like, I want to see the tiny pony, like the tiny horse, I should say. Like, I want to pet all the animals.
Yeah. Yeah. But well, I gotta remind me about the animals thing after we get off of this because I have a story to tell you. You're gonna die. But
I can't wait.
I just can't share it on here. But okay. So we're all for the Vanderpump Rules. Good to know. Good to know.
Yes, we're here for it. We love and I miss people being poor and living in apartments. Like, that's why we watch Vanderpump Rules. We wanted to see them like breaking up and then living on somebody else's couch while they're getting their lives together. Like, that's the era that we miss.
Yeah, even with their little like the in the window AC units and yeah. Those were the times. Those were the times.
Oh,
but
the good old days.
Also, a big congratulations to Kristen Doty and her 4.27 carat emerald cut diamond.
But who's counting besides Kyle Chan, the jeweler to all of Vanderpump Rules?
Which is like, what a smart, I got to give it to Kyle. And also Beyonce's worn his stuff. Taylor Swift has worn his stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have worn his stuff. And me and Kyle and I have come a long way because I guess I didn't know, but I said something that was offensive. And he told me when I went to hug him at BravoCon, and he told me I offended him and we're not friends like that. And he really checked the shit out of me. And now we have moved on, and I have apologized. And we had Victoria Lee Robinson and him on together. And that was just that was a shit show in itself. But it was a very smart move for him to get integrated in, and these are his friends. So I'm not saying it's like a calculated move, but it's also Hollywood, right? Like, he really is the jeweler to Vanderpump Rules.
He made Katie's ring when she married Tom Sandoval. Brittany, her engagement ring, I'm engaged, is Kyle Chan also. This is the third that I know of, and hopefully the start of a new trend of people living long, happy lives together. Like, let's break that curse.
Sheena's.
He did Sheena's too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sheena's, and then I'm going to say Stassi, probably no.
No, Stassi's ring is antique, I believe.
Yeah, and Stassi's not going to. Also, Stassi is like, when everybody got the modern farmhouse, Stassi was like, no. Like, she always likes to do what everyone is not doing.
I'm very Stassi in that regard. Like, yeah. I wish I had like a castle style Victorian like house in the hills. Like, that would be the dream for me.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, we're going to move it on over to the East Coast. We're going to leave the West Coast. So all aboard this shit show of an express train that I'm bringing you on. And we got to talk about something that even Ashley and Amani talked about on Taste of Reality, which is this.
Ooh!
Wasn't this on your actual site?
Yeah, you know, we reported this. Actually, I think it was yesterday, in fact, that Jennifer Aydin had gone on the record saying that Tamra Judge was mean and that she like sets people up to get them to debate. Basically, it was the pot calling the kettle black.
I love. I love that shit. And I love when people get caught in it. I live for it because
the comments are amazing. Like, go to Instagram, go to Taste of Reality. The way that both of these women have gotten absolutely dragged for trash because they're like, you have how many square feet in your house and you don't own a mirror? Like, how do you not understand, Jennifer Aydin, that you are just as much the problem as Tamra Judge? Like, you are East Coast Tamra Judge, but I'm going to say maybe worse because of the body and gender shaming. Like, well, no, because Tamra will call Vicky a PIG.
And Jesus Jugs.
Yeah. Okay. So no, they're equally
But
horrible.
Jesus Jugs isn't really like an attack. She was saying she had a good boob job.
Well, she has gigantic jugs and she loves Jesus being her personality. So I think it's a fair, non-shady nickname.
Well, shady, just not aggressive.
Shady, but not wrong or mean. Like, it's cute. It's cute, shady.
Pig was no. You can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do pig.
Pig, no, that's a hate crime. That is a legit hate crime.
Also, Jennifer Aydin, I told you that she said thank you to me. I don't, maybe if I shared the story before, guys, I apologize. But just to kind of remind you guys, I did an interview with Margaret Josephs. I asked Margaret in the interview was not approved by Bravo. This was like 2 years ago. I asked her, I said, now that knowing what you know and watching the show, do you regret bringing up the cheating thing with Bill because of the way that it's affected her kids and her daughter wanting to be a therapist and these things, right? And she said, no, because this was going to cut, like, you know, however she said it. But because we mentioned, I asked the question about her kids and how it's affected them. Jennifer Aydin, I believe she threatened legal. She like went but not to me, to Bravo. And like, it just became a big shitstorm. So then my phone is ringing off the hook. I'm getting a call and I didn't recognize the number. Then I got an email. So if I don't recognize the number, I don't answer it. Then I got an email from Bravo PR being like, call us back. Called, jumped on the phone, literally got ripped a new asshole. And I said, okay, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do because you guys don't pay my bills. But out of respect for the relationship that I have with Bravo, I don't want to piss them off. I already did that with Jen Shaw. So I took it off. run into Jennifer Aydin at BravoCon, and she goes, I just want to say thank you because I was going to have to take this to the next level. And that was what was said about my kids was so wrong. And I said, you're welcome. But she didn't say anything bad about your kids. She didn't say anything. And I wouldn't have let it go up. I wouldn't have posted it if she said anything about your kids. And she didn't even want to talk about the kids. I brought up the question, and it was a perfectly good, it made sense question, you know? So you're an asshole. But
she's disgusting.
Even like when she walked up to Rachel Fuda after barely knowing her and telling her her nose job looks like shit, saying that Nate Cabral has boobs, but like Bill got a boob job done, like reduction and stuff like that. Like
she has a nose job that her husband didn't even do. Like,
yeah, like there's like some of this stuff just really, I'm like, you really are the pot calling the kettle black.
These two going back and forth is like a tennis match of hypocrisy. Like it's honestly dumbfounding that are they both just so into the game. I don't think Jennifer Aydin plays the game nearly as well as Tamra does. I think Tamra is so strategic in everything that she does. Like watching these two go back and forth has been very good, I think, for both of their business because they've signed up for this. But I have to say, can we kind of just take a little turn to Tamra and her face right now? Her post-op face. Because a week ago today, I was a sweet summer soul who thought, is Tamra maybe getting sponsored and didn't pay for this facelift? All of the fighting back and forth that she did with Vicky with her post-op crispy as F face. Like my husband, I'm watching one of her videos. I'm so thankful to be a plant-based vegetarian human. My husband's eating steak and I'm watching Tamra's video of her face. Like never have I been more happy to not eat meat in my life. But like, of course, she did so much work. Like, how many people is she getting to that plastic surgeon's office? That plastic surgeon is getting so much business from all the feuding she has done with her face in this way. She's going to come out looking snatched, and she's going to get more surgery. She is signing up for a lifetime of surgery if she continues this up, in my opinion.
To be fair, people are still probably waiting for the outcome of said face because we have not seen the final yet. She just did a video, I think, yesterday where, yeah, she said that she has a week left before she could put makeup or anything on. But it is clearing up. Things are clearing up, and she's still a little crispy and peeling on her neck and stuff. And oh God, like what women? I have a friend who's like she's a really, really good friend, and she listens, so I'm not going to say her name, but she just got her eyelids done, and like, there's an extra roll on your eyelids. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to get them done. And she sent me a photo and she had the stitching around her eyelids. And I'm like, this looks so painful. And I said, they put you to sleep? And she's like, no, you're awake while they're doing it. They just give you like a Valium or something. And I was like, the things that people do. And then I heard her talking. I was talking to her on the phone. I heard her talking to her kid. And they were like, I think the kid was like, Mommy, does that hurt or something? And she's like, listen, honey, like beauty hurts sometimes or something. I forgot what she said, but I'm like, I can't with you. I can't. This is insanity. Even after doing my teeth, I'm such a baby. Like guys are honestly like, we're little bitches. We don't have high pain thresholds. At least I don't. And like, as they were ripping out my teeth and shaving shit down, like they put like a buzzsaw in my mouth and they're like, I was like, and I just kept I kept stopping them because I was crying, and all of the stuff that makes you that like makes you numb, yeah, that my body dissolves it so quick, and they couldn't figure out why, so they kept on like giving me more shit, and I'm like, just give me a Xanax and a glass of wine.
They're like, yeah, we're gonna give you Novocaine for the pain, but it's like, yeah, you're putting a 4-inch needle into my face, so yeah, no, I'm not well.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Not well, bitch.
Okay, so speaking of which, not doing well. What were your thoughts on that, by the way? I think we briefly talked about this, but Lenny Hochstein, Katharina Mazeppa, you sent me a text message this morning. But did you like the interview, by the way?
I think it was first of all, you were very skilled at interviewing. You did a really good job at research. It was and Jason's production, like chef's kiss, well done. I'm so glad this got re-released. It was very interesting. I didn't know anything about this woman. I didn't know that she was coming on the heels of a divorce when she got together with Lenny. Like, I didn't know, because of all those cryptic messages that she posted on social media about, it seemed like it was about Lisa, and she said it was about her life and it wasn't shady towards Lisa. But I think both of those things can be true. Like, she was talking about her, but she was also throwing shade at Lisa. The one thing, and I was on my walk, so I'm dealing with traffic and dogs, so I maybe didn't listen clearly to the whole thing as much as possible, but I don't remember her saying, like, if she knew that he was still actively married in a relationship, because this is my thing with women. She looked like the bad guy 100%, but we don't know what Lenny told her. Did Lenny tell her that he was separated, that they're living in the same house while they're figuring things out, that they haven't been together in years, maybe they haven't slept together? We don't know what she heard from him. And if that was in the interview, I need to go back and listen. But like, that was like the one thing, because like, if she didn't know, like, why is she the bad guy?
Okay.
But then she doubled down on social media time after time again, and that makes her the bad guy, because she could have just stayed quiet.
Right. You know, I have to say, in a lot, like, I took a break after this interview. I haven't done an interview in a year after this because of all the shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm just like, I'm taking a break. And honestly, I moved like 5 times in the past year. So it's just been a shit show. And I got a dog. I got a small horse. So it's just been a shit show. But I don't always believe everything that people tell me. Like, when I sat down with Jen Shaw, you know, there were some things that the way that she was answering some of the questions, and she was making it very about, like, she's being attacked because she's a woman, and she's a woman, you know, like, she said, I'm being attacked because I'm a woman of color, and I'm being attacked. And I'm like, I feel like the Southern District of New York doesn't just attack you because you are a random woman of color in Salt Lake City. Like, I feel like there's, you know, like, things just, I don't always believe everything. Katharina was so sweet to me. And I felt like shit when I pulled the interview after taking her time, after her doing her own glam, and like, well, her having a glam person, after inviting me into Lenny's home. Like, I did feel like shit for pulling it. I didn't buy everything that I heard, though. And I didn't challenge it in that moment because I thought it was more important to kind of just hear from her. I wanted to hear her talk. I wanted to hear how she sounded. I wanted to know her background, you know?
Right. We knew nothing about her. It was very, very interesting. But I have to say, there's something, and again, you covered this on one of your shorter news shows about the statement that one of Lenny's friends put out on social media. He claimed that the man she was seen on that boat frolicking with is a con artist, and one of the biggest con artists ever in Miami. So at that point, I'm like, my brain doesn't naturally go to, was this a scam all the way? But now that put in my head, like, is she in a relationship with this man that she was on the boat with? Was Lenny like part of like a plan to like get money?
Oh my God, it's like that Jennifer Love Hewitt movie.
I love you for a Jennifer Love Hewitt reference. Is it the one with
her and her mom, where they like they find out where the rich people are when they run out of money, and then they
I think it was Jennifer Lee Curtis. What's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis. I think that was her mom in that movie. And yes, is that the scam? Like, I never would have thought of that. But when I saw, and I have a very active imagination. My imagination runs wild all the time. So this could just be this could be fan fiction, friends. But when I saw Lenny say that he was a scam artist, maybe this was the plan the whole time.
You know, here's the thing. And I'm going to bring up my good friend Sheena over here. Love her.
All happening.
But like, when she sat down with Brandy and said, I didn't know that Eddie was married. He's an actor. He's in tabloids. There's something that we like to call the internet. When we start dating people, we look at them. We look at their footprint. We look to see what headlines and stuff are. I didn't believe that, you know? And it's like, for her, you're dating this man, however you were dating him, and he's one of the biggest plastic surgeons in Miami. And also he has his wife, right?
Mhm.
And she's on the Real Housewives of Miami. And also there was a fucking photo that was like 18 foot by 18 foot inside the house of Lisa. So what it reminds me of like white chicks. Like, oh, who's that? Oh, that's just my trainer. That's the body that I want to have. Like I love that photo of my trainer when like they go, you know what I mean? It's like, no, the fuck. Like if I had a photo, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna prank Jason. I'm gonna put a photo of some like hot boxer dude with like abs, like laid out, sprawled out, and I'm gonna hang it in the house. And he's gonna walk in, and he's gonna be like, "Fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's my inspiration of how I want to look." And he's gonna be like, "Great, take your inspiration and go throw that shit in the trash, and let's go to dinner." Like,
Right.
nobody's buying that. If I was dating somebody, I say Jason and I were not together, we never met, and I'm going to somebody's house and dating them. No, what it was, in my opinion, and she's a beautiful girl, and she has a really big heart. I can tell you from my interactions with her, she's really, really sweet. I think she got caught up in something. Her ex-husband did not have a whole lot of money. From what I heard, he was also abusive in certain ways. And I think that she didn't come from a lot of money. And then all of a sudden, here comes this guy who's infatuated with you. And he's this big plastic surgeon. And you're on Star Island.
Mhm.
You're in the mansion. There's boats going by. There's all of these things. And do you fucking care that he has a wife? You know? Like, I think some people are like that. Some people don't care.
And then people have different like rules and regulations, and every relationship is unique. So you don't know what's on the table for people. Like, I don't know. I still don't feel great about Katarina, though I thought she was very charming, and you had I have a lot more respect for her as a human, only because of like hearing her story. She seems very intelligent. Like, you can't be stupid and know 4 languages.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. And she's like, hopefully one day I know a 5th. And I'm like, I barely fucking know English.
I mess up on English all the time. This is my first language, and I have a degree in literacy. Like, how are you doing so well? Like,
You're right, though. You can't be. And actually, my friend made an observation who went with me. This is so shady, but I went right before BravoCon. I went to the Hochstein Halloween party, right? This Halloween ball.
It's big every year.
I hated it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because it was on it. Everybody was like 20 years old, 19 years old. I'm 30 at the time. Like, I'm not into it. It's just a bunch of tall, linky models. Then I ran into Natasha from Below Deck running in with like a pair of panties and a bra and angel wings on. And I'm like, wait, I said, weren't you on Below Deck? And she's like, oh yeah, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, where the fuck are we? So we show up, and I'm just like looking around like, what the hell is this? This is like a teeny bopper party. And what my friend noticed is when you're having a conversation with her, Katarina, which I'm going to show you this photo from the party real quick. But when you're having a conversation with her, she does a lot of like, and it's like, no, I'm talking to you about like, what do you want to eat? Why are you doing that right now? But it's like the model, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. I need to up my game. I just need to start like doing some soft vogues in everyday life.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Natasha.
Oh, wow.
And then, by the way, guys, the party ended up great because this is how I woke up the next morning.
Oh my God. Iconic. That hair. Oh, the guy liner. Yes, King.
I was like, I woke up the next morning and I looked at my friend and we left early, and I'm like, why do I feel like I just got hit by a bus? And she's like, no, it's too early. And I'm like, no, it's like 2:00. Like, what happened to us? But I didn't expect anything different. You know what? It's a Halloween party. Like,
but like they're in their 40s. Boob God's in his like 50s or 60s, right? Like, that's kind of.
Yeah,
a
and
choice to hang out with like 19 and 20-year-olds.
no, there was like literally nobody older than me at this party is what it felt like. Nobody was older than me. And then I walked in and I was looking for Katharina and I felt kind of bad for her because she was running around and she was like trying to like turn TVs on and she was like trying to do the party and like make sure everybody was good. And she was being a great host, probably because her name was on it and he was inside. I couldn't find her. So I walked inside, walked into the kitchen and said hi to the housekeeper because she was so nice to me right when we did the interview. And she kept bringing water and stuff. And she was really, really sweet, great with the kids. So I said hi to her and I was talking to her. And here comes Lenny and he goes, "What are you doing in my kitchen?" And I was like, "Oh, I was looking for Katharina." And he was like, "Yeah, she's obviously not in here and only friends and family come into the house. So you can get out and go back into the backyard." And I was like, "Ah!" Like I'm leaving. I was it was just uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable.
Yikes.
Not a good time.
That doesn't surprise me a bit. I mean, Lenny has always given me the ick. Like, I think that goes for most of us. A lot of Bravo guys give me the ick, and he is definitely up on that list. And that was way before all the cheating happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Oif. Well, man,
Oif.
good luck well, honestly, do you think that I know that Lisa's getting a last laugh here when it comes to Lenny, but I saw some comments where people are like, well, he probably knows that he messed up and lost Lisa. But I think when you're willing to do things like that, like kick the mother of your children out of the house and like make her life a living hell. When I think when you're willing to go to this extent, you've already checked out of that relationship. So even though this one didn't work out for you, I don't think you necessarily mourn that other one. Or do you think he realizes like, man, I had a good situation. Sometimes we argued, like we were a couple, but like I really fucked this up.
She
Like,
wrote for him.
she did ride for him.
She was a good wife. I mean, we only see what we see on camera, but like she seemed to like really be attentive to him and really support him. They have beautiful children. She seems to be a great mom. The whole situation is really, really hard to watch. And Lisa deserves and has earned the right to laugh, but it's probably not funny to her because she still has a broken family because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
And
And
kids still don't have a dad in the house. Like,
though, honestly, with no Katharina and no Lisa Hochstein, I bet you he's saving a lot of money. Because those ladies are expensive.
It's expensive to be me.
No, legitimately, like even when I walked in the closet and I looked around, I'm like, you guys are insane. Like but I would imagine that honestly, if I went to anybody else's like Caroline Stanberry's or like Caroline Brooks or Sarah Almadani or Lisa Vanderpump's closet, Jesus Christ, I couldn't even I could only imagine what that looks like.
Heather Dubrow, I mean,
oh, that
who was it? Was it Tiffany Moon who had the like remote control into her closet or like?
Oh, it was a fingerprint and everything.
That was iconic. Of all those like places to visit, I'm a food girly. So, and I love clothes too. I would love to walk through those closets, but I have to tell you, I think going and seeing Yolanda's refrigerator would give me so much satisfaction. Like, how is her refrigerator that beautiful?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That there are certain times I think when you go into like some people's homes have some real statement pieces. Like the refrigerator was a statement. The moat going into your house with hanky and panky statement. Button press for champagne with your initials on it in your closet statement. But then like honestly, Dr. Tiffany Moon probably has she for sure has the best closet. 1,000,000%. She's got to. And they have so much money. They have hotels. Like they definitely have more money than the Dubrows.
Oh, wow. Whoa, you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Tiffany Moon, you think Tiffany Moon and her husband have more money than Fancy Pants and Terry?
Don't you remember the hotels and stuff that they own?
You know, I have to say, I enjoyed Tiffany's season more than most. I really had a hard time with Dallas. Like, Dallas Housewives were not my cup of tea. So I love their Just Hands. I saw him at the Roundup. Like, trust me, it gave us great moments, but that's not like one of the franchises I go back and like, if it's rerunning, I won't turn that one on in the background.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of it either, to be honest with you. No, they're saying that her net worth is 2.5 million. Yeah, right. No, Google is way off on this.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I don't know who has more money.
I would assume the Dubrows, but I would also assume, with maybe the exception of Vanderpump, like they are probably the richest people. Well, I don't know. Those Dubai women are loaded.
Nina Ali.
Yeah.
I mean, who has an 18,000 square foot penthouse in the sky at the Burj Khalifa in Dubai? 18,000 square feet. Do you know how big that is?
That's 9 times the size of my house.
Yeah, that's 9 times the size of my house. Yeah. So a condo.
That's a lot of space.
Yeah. Like it's honestly just insanity to even be able to afford that. And just like yes, I don't know if I had to imagine who has the most money out of these wives, and like legitimately it's their money. It's not like Alexia Echevarria parking her car inside of her condo and then all of a sudden getting in trouble and getting kicked out and evicted and this shit. I think it's really, really their money. I would go Heather Dubrow. Kyle Richards has a lot of money now with the agency. Lisa Vanderpump, Bethany Frankel, Dr. Tiffany Moon, and Nina Ali. I think those might be our richest ones.
Wow. Stanbury comes from family money too. So there's, I think, a lot of money there from what I understand.
Yep. But you know something that, and not to keep you, because I know that we're over an hour, but one thing that Stanbury said to me one time was she did so well and she does well for herself. And she mentioned how her parents and her inheritance and in the will are giving more to her siblings because she did well. And she's like, why am I punished for doing well? And I thought that was really like, I'm like, what the fuck is the thought process behind that? They're just like, oh, well, darling, you're doing amazing. But this one over here, he doesn't do that well for himself. So if God forbid something happens to us and we got to make sure that he's taken care of. And she's like, the fuck is that?
Rightfully so.
Right?
Like, why are you like success shaming me? Like, why would I be in your better graces in your will if I was a slack off? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I have somebody in my family who's actually doing the same thing. And Jason and I had a conversation about it. And I said it was so fucked up. And I'm like, I got to be careful. I just don't agree with it. Yeah, but
fair.
Well,
I respect your opinion.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
We don't always have to agree on everything, but I respect you.
I respect you too, Ashley.
We can coexist. We can do all the things.
Not all the things.
Not all the things. You would be so grossed out by all my things, but that's okay.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. We had about 800 in the room, so thank you guys. And if they don't know, because all of you guys, I get so many great comments about you, Ashley. By the way, when Jason edits this into a podcast and he like does the auto correction and stuff like that, he listens to it while he's doing it. You are like one of his favorites for me to do this with. He just enjoys you so much. And he's like, this is just such a good, he loves you, loves Kim. Like and trust me, he tells me, he's like, this person is never coming back on my channel again. I'm like, it's not your it's my channel. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, never again. No, it's not happening. And then like when he loves somebody, he's like, when are we getting them on again? And you're one of those, he's like, I love her. I love her. And then when you text me this morning, I was like laying there dying and it said Ashley - taste of reality on the thing. And it like, as soon as it came up, he's like, oh no, she's canceling. And I looked and I was like, just read it. I'm dying. And he's like, oh, she gave me a compliment and put a little gold medal emoji on it. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job. That interview was so good. You know, I was actually going to listen to it and write something up over the weekend, which I still will because there are some definite things I think are newsworthy that the world needs to hear. And if they're not, they should just listen to the whole thing. But I will pick out a couple points and hopefully direct them. But oh, what was I going to say? I totally just got distracted. I was just thinking of my compliment from your husband, and I was like, "Can you say that in my good ear?"
You're like, why don't you come talk to my husband and tell him how great I am?
I know that wouldn't suck. I don't remember what. Oh, you know what? I was going to say I haven't done that yet because I spent all weekend watching Selling Sunset.
Oh, me
Selling
too.
Sunset. Oh my God! Did you finish?
I just finished it last night, and I saw where Chelsea won't come back if they bring on that Amanda woman. I don't blame her. I think it's bullshit if they bring that woman on because of like, well, hold on. I do and I don't. One, the woman is not the one who cheated with your husband. Your husband's an asshole. He's a douchebag. And if I would never cheat on you, Chelsea, as a gay man. I just wouldn't cheat on you.
No.
But also, your husband's a douchebag. And I'm happy that you're divorcing him. But because she brought that information, it's not her fault, except for the fact that you brought the information intentionally in the public eye to make a show, to make an impact so you could be a part of the show. And you did it at the detriment of her personal relationship and the father of her two kids. Even though he's the one who put himself in that position, yes, it's fucking dirty. It's dirty. You know what I mean?
And as a very normal, healthy person, I woke up at like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. so I could finish watching Selling Sunset before I got started work for the week. Very normal behavior. And I was honestly not mad at what's her name? The fight with Brie, because Chelsea was so mad at Brie for bringing this up on camera, whatnot. I was like, you know what? They haven't been friends. They've not gotten along. Brie, I thought, was very intentional. She pulled her aside. They were on decent terms. She went to her very delicately and gently and with a lot of respect as a woman, just saying, this is what I heard. I'm so sorry that I'm the messenger. I'm sorry that this is happening. I thought she was very supportive, and I didn't understand the hate towards Brie until the last episode. Oh my God. Selling Sunset is feeding us. It's so good.
They're messy.
It's amazing.
I really like Chrishell too, but Chrishell also, I don't like, and I understand people have to do, we can all do better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Chrishell got mad and was like saying some people are homophobic or whatever because they're not getting the they them pronouns and stuff right, you know, like things like that though. Sometimes that, to me, I'm like, hold on. I have a friend who, she came to my show in LA, and when I saw them, see, even now I'm doing it because I'm not used to that. My friend was always she for the 8 years that we knew each other. I left after the pandemic. I came back and they went by they, them, which is, that's totally, you know, like, so sometimes I think that people like you can't just get so angry at somebody for messing up something that they're used to, unless they're doing it intentionally to be an asshole. Sometimes you know, like people need to be educated, but also you have to like, you kind of have to just remind it's, you know, it's not like a automatically like, I just did it. I literally just did it right now. Right. I'm not homophobic and I'm not phobic of pronouns or anything like that. I just literally did it. That was my point.
Well, and I think it's like very annoying to people who, I'm an ally. I love drag. It's like one of my favorite art forms. I live in Vegas, which is like the drag capital of the world. So I love the gay clubs. I go to the drag shows all the time. And as an ally, I stumble all the time with the they, them. They, you know, when they're not in drag, they go by he, him. When they're in drag, this particular person goes by she, her. You know, like people stumble. And the thing is, nobody in the gay community minds as long as you're trying. I've never had anybody in the LGBTQIA plus community ever say like, wow, you messed that up, because I'm trying.
You know, it's fun. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember at the time. It was when Dana Catherine, it was season 8, Vanderpump Rules. I have a friend named JoJo who also was on Vanderpump Rules for just that season, a little bit like cameos, always twerking all the time. And JoJo's roommate is one of like the biggest drag queens in West Hollywood, Rhea. And they were best friends. They're roommates. I don't know if they are anymore. We were at Tom Tom. We were sitting there having a conversation, and they legit, I thought they were going to get in a knockout, drag out fist fight because they were disagreeing on something, but he fucked up because she was in drag, and he said, "I'm not dealing with his ass right now." And Rhea, because at the time she was in drag, was she her, and she's like, "Oh bitch, you just called me a him," and like it was like earrings are coming off, and like we had to split them up, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like it's sometimes it's, guys, we just got to be patient with each other, and this is not worth just like beating each other's faces in over it.
Yeah, and don't do it while somebody's in drag. Do you know how hard it is to get into drag? That is, number one, expensive. Anastasia Beverly Hills does not come cheap, my friends.
Yeah.
And those wigs need care. You can't be pulling on these queens' wigs.
No, and you know what? And I think, you know, I see where Lisa Marie said, "Thank you, Adam. You know, the pronouns are so confusing for me." I think sometimes it's as long as you are, you know, like trying to understand and trying to do better, and that's the intent behind it. I think it's all about the intent. If you mess up and you're learning as you go, that's just life. Sometimes we get confused. I don't understand everything, and I am also an ally and a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. When my family tries asking me things, I still have an uncle who thinks that swears the reason that I'm gay is because my mom was given some sort of medication when she was pregnant with me. Like sometimes sometimes these conversations are just really like wild. So it's just the intent, guys. It's the intent. Just
we're trying.
Open
we're
heart.
all trying.
Open
we are
heart.
full of love, and we're trying.
Yes, full of love and trying. But all right, with that, Ashley, back to your taste of reality on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. Well, so sorry for the Selling Sunset spoilers, friends. Hopefully you guys turn this off so you don't we don't ruin the season. But we've been having so much fun on Instagram as of late. Our girl Tamra got very upset. She slid into our comments yesterday. We love when that happens. We have the Instagram taste_of_reality. We're also on TikTok is _reality. The universe hates us, I feel, with that, but whatever. Please check out the website, www.tasteofreality.com. We have so much fun writing the articles. We are really up to date with all things Bravo, but like I said, both of us, me and my partner Imani, we both watched Selling Sunset. She's already on to The Secret Life of Mormon Wives. That's my next binge I can't wait for.
That's my next binge too.
Honestly, like I didn't know that was going to be so huge. And I like literally just had to like move through all the memes on social media because I didn't want any spoilers. But I almost kind of feel like I wish I would have watched that before Selling Sunset.
I think the same. I think the same because it's like what Selling Sunset is just something that I was thinking about it while I was watching it, and I was like, this is so good, I don't want to stop watching it. Right. But I like shows like it's not very easy to get me so invested. Even sometimes watching like Housewives that I have to recap, I get so burnt out where like I'm halfway through and I'm like, this is such a stupid episode. I don't want to watch that, or I make myself watch it and I'm like, this sucks. You know, like it's not fun. I want to enjoy watching. In Selling Sunset, I was like, that bitch did what? Ooh, she's serving in that look. Oh my God, not the dog. The dog died.
Oh
and
my
like,
God.
you get all the emotions. Like I'm ready to fight you, love you, like get everything.
I think the dog storyline this year was like the most heartfelt thing I've seen on TV, like watching from the diagnosis, the beautiful moment that Mary and Jason had, to the last days of the dog, to the doggy funeral. I mean, I was sobbing on my sofa. I was like Tamra Judge talking about Vicky Gunvalson slamming my family. Just weeps. Ugly Kim Kardashian cries.
Yeah, I know.
It was good. Good TV. Good TV.
The dog story. I can't talk about it. Ugh. But well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Honestly, we're not feeling good. I feel like we had a great live, and for two people who aren't feeling good, this is the longest we've ever gone. So
Yeah.
go figure.
Well, we love you guys. We love the Addams family.
Hey, and I don't know if you're around on Friday, it would be great to see you.
I love seeing you guys. Love chatting. The Kiki continues.
All right. Well, if you ever need anything, just shoot me a message.
I will. Love you,
All right.
boo. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys. And I will be posting podcast episodes with Monica this week. More videos, all of the things. I'll keep you guys posted. And yeah, talk to you guys soon.